Hi, this is David, and I want to do this video on the City Creek Mall, since I have people that appear to be watching outside of Utah. Many of you in California, perhaps in Arizona, Nevada, Finland, the Philippines, Great Britain, etc., don't know about the City Creek Mall. It's not something that the church publishes. Many times we know things in Utah that you'll never know out there. Never know out there. Let me share with you the City Creek Mall. Let me back up in the Mormon church to Lorenzo Snow. Lorenzo Snow was the prophet that said, as man is, God once was, and man may become like God. It's paraphrased a little bit. That was done at a barbecue or a picnic, and I think he was talking to someone over the fence. That's my best recollection of that comment, Doctrine and Revelation. During the time of Lorenzo Snow running the Mormon church, the church was nearly bankrupt. Its buildings, property, businesses were about to be foreclosed upon. And I guess Jesus came down to Lorenzo Snow, according to Mormon doctrine, and simply said, I don't want my buildings destroyed if they're Jesus' buildings. Why don't we make the people pay 10% of their gross income to the Mormon church for the rest of their lives? And there's not a lot of details I know. Now maybe there's more. You go on the internet, look up Lorenzo Snow, you're going to come up with a lot of stuff. Maybe, I don't know. But the fact of the matter is, the members of the church started to pay tithing to the main part of the Mormon church. Well, that pulled them right out of bankruptcy, and it put them on an edge of no debt. And many years the Mormon church has run on no debt. They don't even insure their own buildings. They believe that they're self-insured. They've got so many millions or billions of dollars. If someone burns down a stake center, they just build another one out of their own money. So, this is the important point. All money in the Mormon church is tithing money. There's no other business money or donations or anything else that pulled the Mormon church out of bankruptcy during Lorenzo Snow. Now, what's happened since then is the big shifting of corporations, nonprofit, profit, and shenanigans. BS shenanigans by the upper echelon of the Mormon church. They didn't used to be paid. Gordon Hinckley changed that. He figured they got enough money for a mall, $5 billion, and enough money that they can pay the general authorities now. And so they're running six-figure incomes, full perks, life insurance, health insurance, disability. Their kids go to BYU for free, death insurance, whatever. So Hinckley, also known as the Hinkster among people who are speaking ill against the Lord's anointed, bought the Hoffman documents with your tithing money and built a $5 billion Jesus Mall in ghetto downtown Salt Lake City. Now, you that don't live in Utah, listen to my voice. Go on the internet. If David's lying, I'm dying. You see me dying? The Mormon church, through Bonneville Corporation and God knows how many other clusters, their attorneys are just unbelievable. And of course their judges decide with the Mormon attorneys. So they pretty much do what they want inside the Mormon corridor, which Idaho to Provo. Anyway, I just read a letter on the internet where there was, I was looking under the PACE memo that he sent to the corporation or the committee to strengthen the members, that there were about, God, there must have been close to 100. 100 attorneys wrote to the church's main attorneys in Salt Lake City, and their name skips me right now. Look it up on the internet. I'm not interested in chasing it. I've already done my research. I got a letter. When I threatened to sue the Mormon church, I got a letter from that law firm down in Salt Lake City. And we had some discussions. All monies in the Mormon church are tithing funds. Now, if the church invested in, back in the old days, Coca-Cola and cattle ranches and farmland, and started buying agricultural spots and business buildings, like the Beneficio building, I think was owned by the church, which went bankrupt. The money that was generated off of those for-profit corporations was tithing money. It wasn't, see, the church, these leaders, they're such a scam. They're telling the members of the church, oh, this money for the mall came off of our investments. It's not your tithing. That is a bold-faced lie. Go and look at what the church was going through, bankruptcy with Lorenzo Snow. And look that all the money that came into the church was tithing. Now, the church says most of that goes to BYU and a lot of it goes to buildings and welfare and humanitarian aid, which is a joke. It's less than 1% of their total gross. And so the people believe them. They go, oh, that's investment money. But the investments were made with tithing money. The church authorities said, oh, we don't mix tithing money with investment money. Where the hell did they get all the money to buy cattle ranches that go for miles and miles and miles in the Midwest? Did the Lord just, or maybe Joseph Smith, printed the Kirtland Fund money for them? What's the deal here? Does this make sense to you? It doesn't to me. The investment money that the Mormon church used and have done well to this point on their investments, other than the crash that's gone on here, was tithing money. And you can twist it, you can turn it, you can break dance it, you can jump up and down, you can ale it until, ooh, light goes off. My, hey, it's the Mormon revenge. I'm scared. I'm scared. It's the Mormon revenge. The Danites have got my lamp. Oh, Lord. The lamp from Desert Industries. It used to work. God, these people are vicious, but they're funny. They're funny, funny people. The Deseret lamp is programmed to stop working when you talk about the money of the Mormon church, and it's done well. It's done well. Well, all monies in the Mormon church are tithing monies. And how they mix and match those in profit-making corporations, the IRS is still scratching its head. In '78, before the Mormons got the revelation, Spencer Kimball from Jesus over breakfast, I'm sure, that the blacks could now receive the priesthood. I don't think that had anything to do with the IRS threatening the Mormon church with its tax-exempt status being pulled because of its corporations. So, what do we have in downtown Salt Lake City? I've been there. I've listened with my ears. I've seen with my eyes. I've heard the Mormons say it's not tithing money and it was needed to protect the temple. I never saw a mall built to protect a temple. Let me tell you what the Mormons are not saying. They're saying they built a $5 billion, not million, $5 billion, which is the most expensive building in the world. In Dubai, they've got the tallest building in the world. It was only $2 billion. Beautiful building. This is a dog down in Salt Lake City. It's to protect the temple. Let me tell you what the real words are, because with my own eyes and my own ears, I've driven down State Street up to the temple, and then on 100 North, down the sides, it's a ghetto. It's a ghetto. About every 5th or 6th shop on State Street is closed. Has bars on it, graffiti on it, and 2 or 3 homeless sitting out front of it. The homeless shelter is 4 blocks down from the temple. That's on 4th South. And Pioneer Park sits right on the corner there. So the homeless get out of the building in the morning to do whatever homeless people do in a day, and they go over and sit in Pioneer Park. Well, that's 3 blocks down from the temple. So Hinckley thought, according to what Jesus said to him, that if you build a really expensive shopping mall and an apartment condo complex, that if you build it, they will come. I think they watched that movie too many times, because they're building it and they ain't coming. Let me tell you the truth about City Creek Mall. It has many condos in it. It's a huge shopping mall, and the ceiling opens up. So Jesus can speak down to the people. Listen to the prophets. Obey. Obey. The ceiling opens up. Now, in a winter state, that is, well, you decide. Would you want to pay for that? Yeah, if you're paying with people's tithing money, you don't give a crap. The ceiling opens up. I don't know how often they're going to open that in the winter when there's snow and there's snow and it's 10 below. I don't think that ceiling is going to work much in the winter. Now, they got looking at the mall, and Jesus came down and said to the prophet again, I don't think we should call it City Creek Mall unless City Creek flows through the mall. The original City Creek is underground. You guys paved it over so that you could use it for parking lots and roads. But I think it's a good idea to dig the damn thing up and divert it through the mall. I think that would be cool for me to have a mall with a City Creek running through it. And the supervisors and the prophet said, well, that's $123 million. And Jesus said, well, I don't care. Take more tithing, fire the janitors, make the members clean the church, lay off some people to the church office building, close down partly Deseret News and Beneficial Life, just declare them bankruptcy. Don't give them that $500 million that tried to float them. So the Mormon prophet bowed his head and said yes. Now they've dug up the City Creek Mall, and it's now running through the City Creek River Mall, or the City Creek is running through the City Creek Mall. I've been seeing with my own eyes in the parking terrace underneath. The parking terrace is so large you could park half the cars of Salt Lake City underneath the City Creek Mall. We've seen the cranes for years and years down there, the building rising up, the condos being built, and the church, under the direction of Jesus, the real estate entrepreneur, put prices on the condos. Now I think there's 2, 3, and 1 bedroom condos. And again, look on the internet. David doesn't lie, and I'm going to tell you when I don't know for sure. But I do know that the 1 bedrooms were going for $300,000, and I know that the 2 and 3 bedrooms were going over $1 million. Over $1 million for, I think, around 1,000 square feet of condo in downtown Salt Lake. Now the building rises up, I don't know, 30 stories, something like that, as tall as it will be. And the condos have not sold. There were many Mormons that thought this was, the millennium, that they were going to be watching Jesus from 50 stories up or whatever. And they put deposits down on the condominiums. Well, some of those $500,000 condos had a lot of deposits on them. Guess what? The Tribune and other real estate magazines here in Utah have said many people who put down the deposits took their deposits back. After they saw the inside of those finished condos, they didn't want to live in there. They pulled their money, their $500,000 or whatever the deposit was, back. Well, it appears that the Mormon Church is finally running out of money. And yeah, they could put all the steel building in and all of the foundation and the parking terrace, but when it comes to the wood or the mirrors or the doors and a beautiful finish, I guess it looks very apartment-like according to individuals who have reported and who have pulled their money out of there. Well, the $150,000 or the $300,000 apartments, condos, have dropped in price. Now, why would that happen? You're not stupid. You know why people lower real estate prices. It's costing them more to keep it. They need to get it out. They need cash flow. The Mormon church is getting broke, losing and selling radio stations and land to Kennecott Copper, and hiring freeze at BYU and employees that have worked for the church for. I think the temple workers down in Manti got a raise this year. That's what I've read. They got a raise from their salaries at the Mormon church. 2 cents an hour. Get on the internet. If David's lying, I'm dying. 2 cents an hour. They bowed their heads and they were thankful. They were thankful to get it. Because a lot of Mormons are losing their job that work for the church. So here's this $5 billion white elephant that Hinckley left Monson. Now Monson's not happy with it. What are you going to do? Tear down $4 billion? Finish it? So now the condos that were $300,000, they're down to $150,000, which is where you can buy a condo anywhere in Utah for $150,000. Now let me again just tell you what I've seen, tell you what my ears have heard, and give you my education, observation, and experience. Old people don't want to live in a condo. Old people don't want to live in a condo unless it's on the ground floor. Now, if you've got to go up to the 15th or 20th floor and carry your groceries up there, if you're old, you don't want to do that. That sucks. That sucks. They want to park their car right by the garage and walk in and put it in the fridge. Here you got to park in a parking garage, which I'm sure is going to become crime infested because the homeless are just down the road. Not every homeless person is a crook, but most crooks hide in parking garages that are several stories behind or below the surface. And now you got to get your groceries out of the car, walk who knows how far in that parking lot to an elevator, and then go all the way up the elevator and get your key, and then go all the way down the house, hall, and get your condo. Well, I'm sure the old people are lined up for that. Now, let's take a look at why the condos are going cheap. They're not selling because they don't have any common sense. Let's take the young family. Here's the mom. She went shopping. She's got 6 bags of groceries, so she can only go up 3 bags at a time. So she goes to the parking lot. She has to walk clear across the parking lot. I'm sure it's going to be lighted, but anyone can jump up out of a hidden area. And she's got to go over with 2 little kids dragging on her and 2 bags of groceries, and then get on the elevator, run all the way up to the top, get her key out, go down the hall, open the condo, and put her stuff in the fridge. Now, she's got 2 kids upstairs and 1 downstairs, unsupervised, which in Utah is against the law. Does she leave the 2 kids up there, or does she go back down with 2 kids and then try to bring 3 kids up and the other 2 bags of groceries? Gee, the young families are just getting in line and scrambling for that nightmare. Now, one side of the condos overlook Temple Square. I'm sure that's a wonderful view. They have pretty grounds, and they have, that's your tithing money, and trees and bushes and whatever. Okay, now, what do the other 3 sides of this white elephant look out onto? Oh, downtown Salt Lake City and all of those shops that are empty. Oh, and some of the other skyscrapers, they can look across and see the business people over in, I don't know, Wells Fargo or Prudential, whatever buildings are there. And they can see the people working, and the people, I guess you can just wave. Maybe they can put binoculars on and watch you go around in your condo naked. Then the other side, it looks out over Pioneer Park. You can look down and see the poor homeless people laying in the park in sleeping bags and their backpacks. Gee, even Mormons aren't that stupid. Gee, even Mormons are not going to buy $300,000 condo where you can get anywhere and it's nice in Utah, anywhere. Now, does this have pools? I don't know. David's telling the truth. I don't know, but I've never heard of pools. Does it have jacuzzis? I don't know. David's never heard of any jacuzzis. Look on the internet, maybe they are there. Does it have a gymnasium? I don't know. Why would young, healthy people, 25, 26, being, men and women about town, want to be in Salt Lake City downtown in the first place? But if they don't have a gym, where are they going to run? I know, they can run down State Street when the robbers are chasing them at dusk. You don't want to be on State Street or over on First or 2nd North or East Temple or West Temple. It's dangerous. It's a ghetto. So these young families, they look around and go, gee, the apartment and the condo isn't very nicely finished. Where are we going to run? Oh, downtown in the ghetto. That's cool. Let's pay $500,000 for that. Well, if you want to see absolute tithing stupidity, drive down or get on the internet and look at the City Creek Mall. Many of you watching don't even know it exists. Many of you in Finland, New Zealand, Canada, you have no idea what the Mormons are doing with your tithing money. If you think that you're going to be blessed, which is the Mormon philosophy, you're going to be blessed even if the men at the top are wicked. You're going to get your blessing from tithing even if the tithing money is wasted. Well, if you believe that, fine. I don't care. I don't believe it. I believe if you spend money for poor children, you should see food going in their mouth. That's your responsibility. Putting that responsibility off to leaders, they may not put food in children's mouths. Now, since all that is tithing money, why does the church think it should protect Temple Square with a $5 billion investment, which is nothing more than a white elephant, rather than feed the children of the world? I've mentioned on other videos, I've been in the Philippines. I have adopted 2 children out of the Philippines. I've never seen such poverty and misery and hopelessness in my life. Other countries are worse. What would $5 billion do in the Philippines or Haiti? Well, because they're brown-skinned people, Haiti, they're black-skinned people, the Mormons go, we don't give a shit. Those people were not born white, and they must have done something in the pre-existence to be that color, and we have a right to take their tithing money and go to the mall. That's the Mormon doctrine. That's the Mormon philosophy. So if you're a Mormon in New Zealand or in Finland or Great Britain or Canada, or New Zealand, other places that are showing up on my demographics, no. We have a mall downtown that nobody's going to go to, that nobody is going to basically buy condos, and it's going to sit empty because 2 malls just within a mile of it have been demolished. People don't go to malls anymore. The Mormons never check that out. They never checked it out. Now, if you're in a Mormon mall, do you expect there to be alcohol served? Well, you don't, but they do. See, you don't smoke and you don't drink, but they drink in the mall. And you have a certain dress standard. Do you think you can go in this multi-billion-dollar mall in a halter top and tennis shoes and shorts? Ha! You can't even go on Temple Square dressed like that. The Mormons are going to face and force you to dress the way they want you to dress. Now, you live there. You're in a condo. Do you think you can wear a tank top or go in the summertime without a shirt and run up and get a Coke and have your car downstairs and you're running down the hall with no shirt on? Ha! You're more stupid than the Mormons. Their rules and their regulations they enforce upon every human being in the world. Don't believe me? Go on the internet. Go down and walk on Temple Square and see how long it is before the guards in their suit and tie and their garments walk up and go, we want you off of our property. Try to be gay. You didn't read that. 2 gay guys were holding hands on Temple Square. They were arrested. Now wait a minute. Don't let me overstate. Don't let me overstate. They were picked up by the Temple Square security officers, and they called the police. Because security officers in Utah, because I used to be one, are not allowed to carry guns, and they don't have rights of arrest other than citizens arrest. So they had to call the police. Well, these guys were escorted off, And so you think you're going to be able to go to the mall and have your little lesbian girlfriend with you, and you've been together, 15 years, and you're happy? You think you're going to be able to buy in those condos? You think you're going to be able to live in those condos? You think you're going to be able to shop in that mall? That thing, believe me, this is David the prophet. That white elephant is going to be empty for a long time. After its initial, everybody wants to go down and see it and watch the roof open up and watch the bridge that goes over, I think it's Main Street, that they build a bridge that people can walk over from one side to the other. Well, this is a white elephant, and mark my words, this is 2011 down towards October, and I'm telling you, I don't think that place is going to go anywhere, and I don't know what they're going to do. I think that is going to be a drain on the corporations of the Mormon Church until they're out of money, and then I don't know if they're going to sell it or what they're going to do. But that is a ill-conceived construction project. So if you're in these other countries and you're listening to me, get on the internet, man. It is the kiss of death for the Mormon Church. I said that a year ago. I said that a year ago. I've got documentation. I said the internet is going to be the kiss of death for the Mormon Church. You're not going to be able to keep people off the internet. They've got iPods, iPads, they've got smartphones, iPhones, they've got computers with hotspots. They can look, and they can do it anonymously. And believe me, if more than half of my demographics, people who watch me, are in Utah, don't tell me the Mormons are not on the internet. Don't tell me, because again, I'm thinking again. This side, the left side of the brain is thinking again. If most of my hits are in Utah, what, do you think they're non-members? You think they're non-members? When it's Sunday, they're out and playing golf and having a good time. They're living their life. It's the Mormons. Between their pornography, which is one of the largest pornography states, we're third in fatness in the United States, and we're number one in prescription drugs for being unhappy. So look the statistics up, use the internet, get the information, but my word and my experience with my eyes and my ears, you're paying for the City Creek Mall, and you don't know it. And all money in the Mormon Church is tithing money. I'll never believe anything else because I know where they were when Lorenzo Snow was nearly bankrupt. Your tithing money paid for that damn mall. And rather than feeding hungry children, building wells with clean water, and giving vaccinations, the Mormon Church has decided that Jesus Mall is more important. Thank you very much.